What's up, Hobby Maniacs? Rob Bear here again today with a new look at the Chaos Varanguard Knights of Ruin unit. Of course, Chaos, Age of Sigmar. We're seeing some more Age of Sigmar releases here over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully they taper off and we get back to some cool 40k stuff, because I'm not exactly sure where everybody's interest level is at. However, these models are pretty dope. But before we get into all that, I would like to encourage you to stay in the trenches. Make sure you check out the blog, spikybitsblog.com. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and of course, head on over to the longwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and discounts on the stuff you buy every month. Become a veteran of the Long War today. So like I was saying, these are the new Billy Badass Calvary units. Now, they're not exactly the traditional kind of, demon kind of units that we've seen in the past with like Blood Crushers, which are kind of an amalgam of demon and also kind of like machine. These are just straight up like basically possessed horses. They're the traditional cavalry that we kind of expect on the battlefield. However, they are bigger sized models, and of course, along with that, these are $100 retail for the box set here in the US. I hear in Canada like $125. I don't even want to imagine what they cost in New Zealand. Those folks unfortunately have it pretty bad down there as far as pricing goes, but there's a lot of effort, I guess, to get the stuff there when they don't actually produce it there. So I kind of understand that, but I kind of sympathize with it too, you know what I mean? Nobody likes to pay more for the hobby, and obviously, that's part of the whole like Long War experience too, is you can have additional discounts. Sometimes you get basically 25% off of all the Games Workshop stuff. So definitely check out those promo codes over on the longwar.net. You can join up for free. You can get the promo codes and then you can cancel even if you want to. They're there. We're not going to hold it against you. You get a week for free. You can do that. But, we encourage you to just stay on board and help support all the channels and things we do here at Spiky Bits as well as Long War. Now, self-promotion there aside, these models are actually really interesting. And of course, once again, we get into the whole, where's Slaanesh at? Because these guys all have specific blades. You can see here, you got a Daemon Sword blade of Tzeentch, of Nurgle, and of Khorne. Where's the Slaanesh Demon Sword blade? I guess there isn't any, Slaanesh crazy demon cavalry of ruin anymore, right? That's a whole hotbed subject. I like to talk about it just because it's funsies, and you kind of don't really know where Games Workshop's going there. Are they stopping the whole Slaanesh thing because it's not child friendly? Are they, is it just part of the story arc? Are they going to transfer it over to 40k? I've written a ton of articles over in the blog about it. It's kind of hilarious reads, just for the comments, half of them. But check it out. It's interesting to see that they did not include those weapons here, and they also didn't give anything in here for anything to do with Skaven, as well, because he's the new addition to the pantheon of the Chaos Gods, at least in the Age of Sigmar. But you never really see anything dedicated to the Great Horned Rat. So you're like, what the heck? I don't know what to make of it. There isn't a clear and concise answer, so it's all speculation at this point, which everybody, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and nobody wants to hear anybody else's, I feel like. Although, everybody seems to enjoy the speculation that I do on here, so I try to keep it, as fair and balanced as I can, just like Fox News, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so it's really interesting. I like the upgrade weapons here. There's a whole bunch of different sets. You get the Daemon Forge blades, there's spears, there's axes, and there's this crazy-looking hammer, which is kind of like a chaos version of like the Galmaraz, I feel like. And I really like these shields. Like, if I can make, and I have some, I can't reach it right now because it's actually put away, but I converted up a whole bunch of Chaos Terminators for Warhammer 40k with the old Chaos Knight plastic shields, and then I took the hammers and I converted it from the Leering Gargoyles, the Warflame Gargoyle kind of thing, from the Chaos Space Marine Vehicle Accessory sprue. I converted those with that, and they look really cool, but then I see these, and these are like dedicated hammers, and these shields are like way doper than the Chaos Knights, and I'm like, oh my god, I just want to convert up a bunch of Terminators like that. But these bits are really expensive, so I don't know if I'll ever get around to that. Maybe like a lore level, if I can, get some extra bits off somebody that buys the box or something. I'd have some bits to convert, but I don't exactly see myself buying this kit anytime soon. So that being all said, let's take a closer look at this thing. Like I said, they are $100 retail, but they are really big models. I don't know if it's worth, a lot of people were mad about the Blood Knights for the vampire counts when they were like ridiculously priced as well. So there's there's the bases that they're coming on now. You know, the new kind of oval, not exactly the pill base that we've seen in 40K, but those are more like the oval kind of thing. And they're interesting. I mean, you know, it makes sense for cavalry that you wouldn't have them on a big round base, but, you know, then again, I'm not exactly sure if that would, if it was fantasy, you know, these days, that exactly obviously wouldn't work so well. So you get 3 sprues, each one's basically containing an independent rider, his mount, and a whole bunch of different weapon options. And then when you get into the actual instruction manual, you can kind of see how they work here, which is, you know, more than interesting, because they really break it down, like all the options that are in here. Like you got, you know, the ensorcelled blades, the ensorcelled hammer, which I really like that one. If somebody has an extra one of those, let me know. I will buy it from you. I really want it. Then ensorcelled axe, and like I said, you know, too, like all this stuff that I buy, I don't know if how many of y'all pay attention to exactly how this channel works, but basically I have to buy all this stuff at retail a lot of times. And what I do is I actually take it, I store it all up in the closet, and now what we do is with Patreon, all of our supporters, you know, that pledge over $1 a video, because we do about 20 videos a month on here, give or take, and we're starting to ramp it up and do better quality features besides all the unboxings. Trying to do like a weekly rant, trying to do things like, you know, flashbacks, like I have all the old books going back to like the 80s, you know, like just taking reviews and stuff like that. Like I have things like, you know, like this just sitting on my shelf, like the old Space Marine, you know, Imperial Guard Squad. This is the one that came out in the 90s after the one that came out in the 80s. But, you know, just being able to take a closer look at stuff like that and just kind of break it down and reminisce about it, you know, is really cool, I feel like, for the new generation. So I'm trying to get into this rhythm of like, you know, specific content every week. So this stuff I actually give away. I don't keep any of this stuff because it's actually, I would go broke if I kept all the stuff and that I actually review on here, because I pay so much for it. So I actually give this stuff back in swag to the people that contribute to the Patreon page, to supporting the channel and the blog and everything like that. So if you want to get on some of that, hop on over to, you know, Patreon page. It's patreon.com/spikybits. You can check it all out. This obviously is something that's going out to somebody here in the near future, you know, basically at their support level. So get on that. If you want a box of swag every month from Spiky Bits, you know, we give something new to all the new folks, the new pledgers every month. You get a little kind of like a gift envelope, gift box. Not really a box, but just like a package kind of thing, you know, just a big thank you here from Spiky Bits. So another self-promotion side. Sorry, I guess it's just a day for that. Let's get back into it. P.S. I really want that hammer. So it's got some really interesting head options here. Obviously, you can see where they're going, you know, just kind of depending on what tact you want to take. You want to go corn, you know, you want to go sorcerer kind of thing. There's some Nurgle looking stuff, and then the traditional undivided, which I guess really isn't a whole big thing in Age of Sigmar. And then you can kind of see how they all go together. Not exactly the traditional kind of style like the old knights horses, where it would be complete left and right, and then you would pop on like the tail at the end, although the tails do kind of go on, but they don't lock in, so to speak. But this here, you kind of have to assemble a little bit more because they're more dynamic. They have the tabards and the plates and things like that, and they get like these crazy positions, you know, with their legs and things. So it's kind of interesting to see how all that works. And what I also like about it is the way it also assembles here between the legs. You could actually mount these on other things besides, you know, the horses here. So if you have some other crazy conversion you want to do, and it's truly epic, and you know, you think it's worth the price tag of this kit, you do have a lot of options here, not just locked into this crazy static poses that would really kind of invalidate the price tag, I feel like. And then you can kind of see where you build up the rider, and the rider actually has multiple parts as well, for the heads to lock in here. And then, you know, you hit on the weapon arms, you got shoulder pads, you know, the whole nine. These things are definitely decked out. I'm sure people will endlessly debate whether they're worth the price. So then it gets into the other two there, and you can kind of see how they all work right there. And then we get into the rules, and the rules are actually pretty interesting, and we'll zoom in on those. You know, I played a few games of Age of Sigmar. I don't have a whole lot of time to get a lot of games in, so I kind of prefer, been playing a lot of the Battle for Calvary, the Horse Heresy box game, and also some Armada and X-Wing, which I actually prefer because I can get them in an hour. But what I really like about the Battle for Calvary is that it's a 40k kind of theme game, and I can get that in an hour too. I could theoretically get Age of Sigmar in an hour, playing small enough level points, but having a hard time finding players in my local store. There are a few, but you know, the rendezvous are a little bit few and far between, I feel like. So here's the kind of the weapons and all the stats and things. 10-inch move is pretty respectable for Age of Sigmar. 5 wounds, bravery 9. Okay, that's to be expected, I guess, for chaos. Save a 3+. I like the ensorcelled weapons. The range 1 and 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, -1 rend and 1 damage. Well, you know, conversely, you can spear them. 3 attacks, 3, 4, -1 and 2 damage. So it's kind of the same if you can get past the wound roll right there, but kind of, you know, it's just kind of a gamble, I feel like, at the end of the day there. And then you can see the rest of the weapons as well. So let's get into the actual models themselves. This is one of the sprues. This is the one that has the spear on it, and you can kind of see they are very well detailed. I mean, computer designed, crazy amounts of trim, you know, all the armor plating, you got all the weapons. This is the Nurgle and Sorcerer blade here, and then you got the different heads, the little sockets that go actually inside the torsos right there. Then you got these crazy big shields. I mean, these things are huge. And then the rest of parts of the actual horse and the extra pieces there for the knight itself, the knight armor plates. Boom, the heads, more armor plates, parts there, and then the heads themselves. So you can kind of see it's almost self-contained, but then you have to lock it in with the other different parts in the legs, you know, and different things like that, just kind of depending on how it goes together. And here's the second one, Variety 2, that also has a really big shield. You got the generic ensorcelled blade there, or is that the corn one? Yeah, it's the corn one. Another fell spear. You know, all sorts of cool looking heads. You got the corn head on that one. Crazy looking paws. Actually, those are actually the hands. And then the axe here. Lots of different parts to the helmets. You know, you got this. I really like these blades. They kind of remind me of War Machine. I forget exactly what type of blade that's called, but it's pretty dope. Oh, and there's my most favoriteest bit ever in the world. The crazy Chaos Galmaraz hammer. And then the Zinch blade there. A whole bunch of more different parts. But you can really see the detail. I mean, these are much bigger than a normal Chaos, you know, knight horse. And then the shields themselves are almost as big as like what you would see as a Chaos Knight Rider. I mean, shoot, that thing right there is almost as big as a Chaos Space Marine. Let's take a look. Grab my trusty Iron Warrior, and there he is right there. So it's nearly as big as a Chaos Space Marine, or just a generic Space Marine altogether. In size. So that's pretty nuts that their shields are just as big as Archaon's almost. I feel like Archaon's a little bit bigger, but you know, it's really hard to say without the comparison to him right here. So again, it's a really cool looking kit. I think they did a really good job on it. I can't really hate on them, you know, for basically the price tag, or you know, the quality. I mean, I kind of get it all. Obviously people are not going to like the price tag. I mean, for me, I wouldn't buy something like this just for I would buy it for bits. You know, I'm always all about the bits and converting the things. So for me, that price tag's a little outrageous if I was just going to convert for bits, you know. But I feel like these are pretty big models, and they are pretty high quality. So at the end of the day, you just gotta weigh your options, I feel like, and you know, if it's worth it for you, and you love Chaos, and you love these kind of cavalry models, you know, it's your thing. If not, you know, obviously they might just sit on the shelf. Ultimately, we all just kind of vote with our dollars, and you know, I'm sure Games Workshop doesn't sell a lot of Dreadnought models for 40K because the rules are terrible, but they look pretty cool, so they're still gonna sell some every now and then. I kind of feel like, you know, that might be the case with these guys. So thanks for watching my video unboxing and review of the new Varanguard Knights of Ruin for Age of Sigmar.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.